We will be starting our webinar just a little bit after 5:45. Right now, you're viewing the virtual exhibit. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll be starting our program a little after 5:45. So for now, just sit tight and enjoy some of the virtual exhibit. Thank you for joining us. We will be starting our program in a few minutes. Right now, you are seeing some of the virtual exhibit. For those of you just logging on, we will be starting the program in just a few minutes. Right now, you are viewing parts of the virtual exhibit. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to wait just a couple more minutes before we start the program. As you wait for us to get started, you can view the virtual exhibit, and this will continue while Helen is welcoming us. We will be starting our program in about 1 minute, just giving everyone time to join our webinar.
Hello, everyone. It's very nice that you were able to join us today. On behalf of the MAEA Board of Directors, the Youth Art Month Committee, and our current committee chair, Alina Ryu, who unfortunately was unable to be with us this evening, it's my pleasure to welcome you to Art Connects Us, this year's Youth Art Month exhibit and celebration. And as I speak, as Melissa had mentioned, you will be able to view more of the virtual exhibit. So my name is Helen Downey, and before retiring, I taught art in the Marlborough Public Schools for 36 years. I now teach art lessons part-time in various locations, and I work as a supervisor for student teachers. I'm also very active on the board of the Massachusetts Art Education Association, currently serving as the treasurer. And I am a longtime member of the Youth Art Month Committee and was a past chair of the committee. Originally known as Children's Art Month, Youth Art Month, or YAM, was created in 1961 as an event to emphasize the value of visual art education for children. Now in its 60th year, the Council of Art Education coordinates this program at the national level and supports state and local events. In Massachusetts, YAM was celebrated for years with regional exhibits, many of which still occur today, although not this year for the most part. But in 2014, MAEA added a statewide exhibit. Held each March at the Transportation Building in Boston, art teachers from public, private, parochial, and independent schools across the state each are welcome to submit up to 6 student works of art. Think about that. 6 works of art per teacher out of the possible hundreds that are created in their art room during the course of the year. So if you are a student with art in this exhibit, congratulations, you should be very proud. Of course, having the YAM exhibit in Boston was just not possible this year. And given the circumstances, the YAM committee felt it was best to poll the art teachers to see if they were interested in a virtual exhibit. The response was positive, and we are delighted to share that despite the challenges of this past year, 136 art teachers participated, and there are over 750 student works of art in the show. And it's true, we really enjoy seeing the artwork in person, but the virtual exhibit does have an advantage in that it allows you to share the link, and that way you can share the exhibit with family and friends who otherwise might live too far away to attend. If you haven't had a chance to see the entire exhibit yet, we hope you will. It's found on you can find it on the MAEA website, and your art teachers should have the link available for you if you have misplaced it. Also, when you get to that, oh, I turned the page too soon, excuse me. When you get to look at the show, you will also find that we have a link to the recognition show, which is a high school show. And we also, it's umbrellaed under Youth Art Month, but it's a separate awards event for high school students. The work there is also spectacular. And also, in keeping with this year's national theme of Art Connects Us, you will find a link to the regional exhibit that actually did happen on Cape Cod and an exhibit to the virtual show that happened in New Jersey. MAEA's YAM exhibit is also shared on their New Jersey website, and you will also find our website linked, this exhibit linked at the Worcester Art Museum, which is another location where we usually host a regional show. Besides all the wonderful artwork on this site, we also want to bring your attention to the fact that there are some little activities that you could do while you're looking at the show. First, we would love it if you would please sign our guest book and leave a brief reply so that we know that you were there. And then if you happen to be particularly moved by any work of art or even more than one, there's a link on each gallery. I think you can see it. It says leave an artist fan letter by clicking here. And if you do that, you have a little form to fill out that will eventually make its way back to the student. We'll be delivering it to the art teachers and they can hand it out to the students sometime in June. And then finally, to encourage you to explore more of the exhibit, more than maybe just your school or your community, we've included 5 levels of scavenger hunts. We hope they're fun. And we actually think probably the 5th level might be something that art teachers might want to use as a class activity. Visual artists, of course, work in a variety of different ways. And our first guest speaker this evening works with assistants and he works with other artists to create his amazing paintings and murals. So it's my pleasure to introduce Boston artist and a professor at the School of the Museum of Fine Arts at Tufts, Ethan Murrow, who's prepared a short presentation for us here.
Yes, and I will get that going in just 1 second. Wanted to make sure my audio would share.
Hello! I was really honored to be invited by Youth Art Month organizers to share some of my projects with you. My name is Ethan Murrow, and I live in Boston and work in a studio in the South End, which is a part of the city near downtown. Most of my art projects are meant to be funny or to tell a story. I'm really interested in all of the ways in which humans make mistakes and how we can learn from the times when we fail at something. I think it can be a really good idea to fail at something. You don't want to find yourself in a sad situation, but I think sometimes failure can help us understand that being perfect is not always a reasonable goal. So lots of my drawings feature characters or people trying really hard to do something in difficult circumstances, and they may or may not succeed. I'm hoping people will look at the work and ask, is that really a good idea? And maybe laugh. I also really like moments in life when you see something totally crazy, something that blows your mind and your jaw drops. I'm trying to make images that look a little bit like that. I hope my drawings look like they're part of a larger story, maybe part of a film or part of a stage as if they're in the theater, or part of a book. So I'm really interested in storytelling. Mostly I make drawings, but to create the artwork I also need to have lots of stuff around me to give me ideas or to help me understand how to draw certain things like the human body. So I spend time playing in the studio, dressing up and acting like a fool, creating scenes, again, like I'm making a movie. I have lights as if it's a movie set, we have cameras as if it's a movie set, we have props and wardrobe and all kinds of things like that. And I have lots of people helping me. Sometimes I hire actors, sometimes I'm the actor. I work with photographers who help me make the really amazing images that I can then use to help me make my drawings. I have a ton of fun working with other artists like photographers. It's really exciting to collaborate with other people and to learn from them. After I have the photographs, I bring them into the computer where I make digital collages, combining the images that I've made with the photographers with images that I find. I spent a lot of time on the computer planning my compositions and trying out different things, basically sketching, so that I have options. And after I've made these digital collages, then I start thinking about how they're going to look on the board or the piece of paper that I am using for the artwork. Once I know which image I'm going to work from, I use a projector, just like you would find in a movie theater, or maybe if you have one at home, to help make the image look big and to get a sketch of it on the surface. Then I begin to develop big general areas of color or shades of gray and slowly make the piece more and more detailed. I use graphite pencils for black and white work and what are called high flow acrylics, which is like a really juicy acrylic paint, which is a water-based paint, and I suspend it in pens or load pens up with it so that we can make lots and lots of detailed marks with that. I have lots of help with these pieces. You might hear me having said we because I often work with assistants. Right now I have 3 assistants who work for me. They're all very skilled artists and they make big contributions to the work and are a big part of my daily practice in my own studio. A whole other part of my creative job is making murals and wall drawings. Some of the drawings here, or paintings, are done right on the gallery or building wall. I make them in museums, community spaces, homes, and in offices. This is probably my favorite job because I get to hire and work with a lot of other artists, and I learn so much from them as we solve problems together, work hard, and tell stories while we draw or paint. At the end of the day, my hope is that the wall drawings and murals fully surround viewers. I want them to walk into a space and have to stretch their neck and look up and go, whoa, because they are surprised and feel like they're inside the artwork. It's always super exciting to make something really big, and I feel really lucky to have been able to make big, big drawings. I also teach drawing and painting at Tufts University in Boston, where I work with lots of students who started studying art when they were in elementary and high school, just like you all. And the hard work they did back then when they were younger helps them a lot in the classes they take in college. So I hope you keep practicing. I hope you keep making your own artwork with your own ideas and keep trying stuff out, experimenting, failing, not worrying if something doesn't look great, because through lots of practice you'll figure stuff out and you'll figure out your own way to be an artist and your own way to tell stories. Congratulations to you all, and thanks so much for inviting me. Have a good one.
Okay, Helen, back to you.
So I thoroughly enjoyed that little clip from Ethan Murrow, and I want to thank him for sharing a little bit of his art and his process with us. I think it was an inspiring thing to watch. Hopefully it inspired some of you young artists. Over the years, we have been lucky enough to receive proclamations and citations from Governor Baker's office, from the State House of Representatives, and from the State Senate. The ones we received this year are posted online, and you can see them. They're part of the exhibit. But I think I will just share one with you here. I think I picked up the one from the House of Representatives, and it's very official. It has a gold seal, and it reads, "Be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincere congratulations to the MAEA Art, to the Massachusetts Art Educators Association in recognition of the 60th anniversary of Youth Art Month and the celebration of the visual arts. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors. Given this first day of March 2021 at the State House, Boston, Massachusetts, and it's signed by Speaker of the House, Roland Mariano, and by State Representative Carol Fiola." So that's very nice. The others, there's one proclamation, that's the long one that says whereas. So you can read that when you go online and visit. Now it's my pleasure to reintroduce or to introduce this incredible lady, the woman who's managed to make this webinar happen, really. And she is also the president of Massachusetts Art Education Association. Please welcome Melissa Mastrolia.
Thank you, Helen. Before I start, I'm just going to share my screen again so we can view some artwork while I'm speaking. Because while I'm sure you would love to just look at my face, it's better to look at some artwork. So, hello, artists, families, friends, art educators, and community members. I'm so happy to be connecting with you virtually tonight to celebrate the hard work and dedication of many artists across Massachusetts. As Helen shared, the MAEA Board of Directors is excited to welcome you to this year's virtual Youth Art Month celebration. I am Melissa Mastrolia, and I currently serve as president of the Massachusetts Art Education Association. When I'm not in the role of president of MAEA, I teach virtually. I teach virtually and in person actually this year, but I teach visual art full-time at Conant Elementary School in Acton. The same is the case for the rest of the MAEA Board of Directors, committee members, and volunteers. MAEA is a volunteer-run organization, which is truly astounding. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight. Before we start our awards ceremony for the President's Choice Awards, I wanted to share a bit more about MAEA. As I shared before, the Massachusetts Art Education Association is a volunteer-run organization. Our mission is to advance high-quality visual arts education for all by empowering arts educators to excel in the practice, instruction, promotion, and celebration of visual art. MAEA is a state affiliate of the National Art Education Association, and we support the mission, vision, and core values of NAEA. Youth Art Month is our biggest event outside of our annual state conference. For me, it is without a doubt the most fulfilling event we organize. Seeing the pride and excitement in hundreds of children makes all the work organizing the exhibit worth it. I'm reminded of March 1st, 2020, before remote teaching, asynchronous and synchronous learning, choice boards, masks, and sanitizing supplies were part of my day-to-day. On that day of our 2020 family celebration, I witnessed joy, excitement, and pride on not only my students' faces, but on the faces of hundreds of students from across the state. While I can't see the attendees in person tonight on this webinar, I am envisioning all of the proud artists joining me tonight for this celebration. I am amazed at all of the work that has gone into this virtual exhibit. From the elementary, middle school, and high school artists who have worked under such difficult circumstances, to the visual art educators who supported their students with so many obstacles to overcome, to the committee members who volunteered their time to reimagine how this exhibit would work in a virtual environment. My sincerest thanks to everyone who has worked so hard and tirelessly to continue to support and celebrate the visual arts in Massachusetts. And now I'd like to turn this over to some of the statewide Youth Art Month committee to recognize the artists who have been selected as the President's Choice Award winners. These artists, whose teachers submitted their work to the statewide Youth Art Month exhibit, were selected to be displayed at the National Art Education Association Annual Convention virtual exhibit. And to welcome them, I need to stop sharing my screen and cue up that video. So if you just bear with me for a moment, I will do that. Okay.
Hi, I'm Mary Beth Eldridge, and I'm a retired art teacher from Pittsfield. I've organized a Berkshire County pre-K through 12 art show for Youth Art Month from 2017 to 2020. And I am so happy to be part of the MAEA Youth Art Month Committee. Puppet Family is the title of this work by Oberon Wolf, a kindergarten student from Randall Library in Stowe, where Abby Morgan is the art teacher. Oddvik is the creator of this painting, The Monster That Lives on a Beach Near the Sea. Oddvik is a kindergartner at Gates Elementary in Acton, Boxborough. Isabella, a kindergarten student from Our Lady of Lourdes School in Chelmsford, created this work, Untitled. Isabella's art teacher is Lori Amberman. Rainbow People was created by Shreva, a first grade student at Henry Warren Elementary School in Ashland, where Deborah Colella teaches art. The artist who made Mondrian Pumpkin is Clara. Clara is a first grade student at Richer Elementary School in Marlborough, where Rebecca O'Brien is the art teacher. First grader Victoria painted Oak Leaf. Victoria is a student at Joseph P. Tynan Elementary School in South Boston. Victoria's art teacher is Ida Botella.
Hi, I'm Leslie Quillen. I'm an elementary art teacher, grades 1 to 5 in Lawrence, and also a member of the Youth Art Month Committee. We'll be presenting now the work from artists in grades 2 and 3. The first work of art I'd like to share with you is The Element of Color, which is created by the artist Lucilla, a second grader at the Chandler Elementary School in Duxbury. Elizabeth Caffrey, art teacher. Murano Vases is the work of artist Wyatt, who is a second grader at the Joyce Kilmore School in West Roxbury. Art teacher, Sarah Egan. Also a second grader for Fox is artist Emmett, a second grader at the John Briggs Elementary School in Ashburnham. Jonathan Rose, art teacher. This next work is titled Monster. It was created by artist Jaden, who is a third grader at the Center for Applied Behavioral Instruction in Worcester. Maria Petrovsky is the art teacher. Artist Adeli created Watercolor Glue Flower, a third grader at the Millbury Street Elementary School in Grafton. Art teacher, Beth Tucker. Winter Fox, created by artist Gretchen, a third grader at the Sutton Elementary School in Sutton. Art teacher, Catherine Heer.
Hello, my name is Amy Hussey. I am an art teacher in the Reading Public Schools, where I get to work with my favorite artists in kindergarten through 5th grade. I am also a proud member of the Massachusetts Art Education Association and the Youth Art Month Committee. The first work of art I'd like to share with you is Shape Collage. This colorful piece was created by artist Jake, who is a 4th grader at the Fisher Elementary School in Walpole. Jake's art teacher is Joanne Hirschfeld. Hospital Car is the work of artist Emily. Emily is a 4th grader and attends the 101 Art Studio in Quincy, where Ziyu Zhao is an art teacher. Also a 4th grader, artist Xavier created Metamorphosis. Xavier attends the Harrington Elementary School in Chelmsford. The art teacher is Kelly Mazzoni. This artwork, The Land of the Dinos, was created by artist Isaiah, who is a fifth grader at the Pittsfield Public Virtual Academy. Isaiah's art teacher is Kim Hyman. Artist Molly, a fifth grader at the Eames Way School in Marshfield, created this work of art entitled Sunrise Glee. Catherine Hahn is Molly's art teacher. This untitled artwork was created by fifth grade artist Riley. Riley attends Our Lady of Lourdes in Taunton, where Lori Amberman is the art teacher.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth Buck. I am currently the manager of studio class programs at the Worcester Art Museum in Worcester, Massachusetts. I am very excited to be connected with and participating in the Youth Art Month virtual exhibit this year, 2021. I'm connected with the Massachusetts Art Education Association, MAEA, as the Museum Education Division Director. Here we go. Let's look at the works by artists in grades 6 and 7. This first piece is Untitled by artist Valentina in 6th grade. Valentina attends Winter Hill Community Innovation School in Somerville, and their teacher is Rachel Hawkins. This second piece that we're looking at was titled Brain Coral by artist Genevieve in 6th grade. Genevieve attends North Street Elementary School in Grafton, and Sarah Camille is the art teacher. This third piece that we're looking at today was titled Sugar Peas by artist Ariana in 6th grade at Chandler Magnet Elementary School in Worcester. Ariana's teacher is Anne Villarreal. This piece of art was titled Mosaic Tile B by Anna, a 6th grader at Lee Elementary School in Lee. Anna's teacher is Brandon Buell. This piece that we're looking at was titled Value in Spheres by Abigail, a 7th grader from Coakley Middle School in Norwood. Abigail's teacher is Laura Ribeiro. This piece, titled A Day in the City, was by artist Ryan, a 7th grader at Millis Middle School in Millis. Ryan's teacher is Amy Radcliffe.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Mullaney, and I'm a teacher at Norwood High School in Norwood, Mass. I've been teaching here since 2005. This is my first year working with the MAEA and the Youth Art Month show. Our first work of art is created by the artist Piper. Piper is a 7th grader at the Dr. Albert F. Argenziano School, Lincoln Park, Somerville. Diana Tareme is the art teacher. Big Fish was created by the artist Gabe. Gabe is an 8th grader at the Carroll School in Lincoln, and Diane Francis is Gabe's art teacher. This next piece of art, titled Pancakes featuring Purell, was created by Zainab. Zainab is an artist who's in the 8th grade at the East Middle School in Braintree. Zainab's art teacher is Julie Campisiano. Triple Exposure, created by artist Ava in the 8th grade at the Fay School in Southborough. Ava is taught by Billy Clare. Nicole, a 9th grade artist at Millbury Junior Senior High School in Millbury, Mass, created this work titled Treehouse Project. Nicole is taught by Stephanie Sala. Fareya created this piece titled Protect by People of Color. Fareya is an artist in the 9th grade at Charlestown High School in Boston and is taught by Nancy Zimbalist.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Kostic. I teach art grades 9 through 12 at Groton Dunstable Regional High School, and I'm excited to be part of the Youth Art Month Committee this year, as well as the Recognitions Committee, and I'm also serving as the Secondary Division Director on the MAEA board. And here are the artists in grades 9 and 10. First, we have Badminton Birdie by Patton in 9th grade at West Springfield High School, and the art teacher is Rachel Lapine. Next, we have Winter in New England by Marco in 9th grade, Innovation Academy Charter School in Tingsboro, and the art teacher is Scott Berry Grove. And here we have Your Move by Cadence in 10th grade in Fairhaven High School, and the art teacher is Jamie Lynch. And here is Mercury Footwear by Jake in 10th grade, who goes to Wachusett Regional High School in Holden, and the art teacher is James Ryan. And here we have Sunset Sheets by Ava in 10th grade at Medfield High School, and the art teacher is Meg Drew. And here we have Sagar Vessel by Madeline in 10th grade at Falmouth High School, and the art teacher is Corinne Adams. And thank you, and congratulations, everyone.
Hello, my name is Connie Moore, and I teach visual arts and ESL at Winthrop High School in Winthrop. I'm also involved with MAEA and have served as a past president of the organization. I am currently involved with the YAM committee and working very happily on the YAM committee, and have the opportunity to look at and see wonderful works of art by our students. And I'd like to share some of those works with you right now. And without further ado, let's take a look at our first piece. This piece, entitled Fishing, is by Nate, who is in the 11th grade at Chapel Hill Chauncey Hall School in Waltham. Nate's art teacher is Maeve Doolan. Our next piece, Nature's Tranquility, is by Christiane in the 11th grade at Lynn English High School in Lynn. Christiane's art teacher is Martha Brown. Our next piece, Wear and Tear, by Alberto, who is in the 11th grade at Methuen High School in Methuen. And Alberto's art teacher is Jamie Varasconi. This piece, entitled Mixed Media Portrait by Anastasia, who is in 12th grade at Framingham High School in Framingham. Anastasia's art teacher is Adrian Schuler. Portrait by Lillian in the 12th grade at the Windsor School in Boston. Lillian's art teacher is Julia Harrison. Cameras On, Please, by Kate in the 12th grade at Canton High School in Canton. Kate's art teacher is Michelle Mendez. Trip Through Time by Reagan in 12th grade at West Boylston Middle High School in West Boylston. Reagan's art teacher is Allison Janney. Thank you.
Okay. So my congratulations again to all of the artists who were selected as President's Choice Award winners, as well as to all of the artists who were selected by their art teachers to be part of the statewide Youth Art Month exhibit. I continue to be impressed by the artwork being created across the Commonwealth. All participants will receive You might be able to hear my cats meowing. All participants will receive a certification of participation from their art teacher by the end of May. President's Choice Award winners will also receive an award certificate from their art teachers by the end of May. Now I'd like to introduce our second guest speaker, Daisy Patton. Daisy is a multidisciplinary artist from Western Massachusetts. Her work focuses on history, memory, and explores the meaning of families, relationships, storytelling, and also connection. Just give me one moment to cue that up.
Hi there, my name is Daisy Patton and welcome to my studio, or at least a little corner of it. As you can see, I have large-scale paintings in here. These paintings come from a body of work called Forgetting Is So Long, and it's where I take abandoned or discarded family photographs that I find from all over the world, from all different time periods. And I'm scanning and enlarging them to life size. This way you can have sort of a one-to-one connection with the person again. And then having the print mounted to panel and paint over them with oil paint. So for me, this body of work is very much about memory, identity, loss, who it is that we remember, and why we remember in this way. And those sort of questions are things that are throughout my overall art practice. So I would consider myself a multidisciplinary artist. I work with a variety of media depending on the project that I'm working on. I've worked with sound installation, fiber arts like embroidery, photography, etc. And in this case, I'm merging two different media together to make this work. So as an artist, I'm thinking a lot about what it is that I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to communicate with an audience or audiences. And that really sort of changes what kind of work that I'm making. It's one of those things where as an artist, it's really important, especially a younger artist, to do a lot of experimenting and test out different things. These paintings came from a period where I was experimenting because I was frustrated with just straight painting, where I was only painting and not working with other substrates and source material. So I wouldn't have come across this work without doing those kind of experimentations. Part of making art and being an artist in the world is that you're going to test out different ideas. Some of them work and some of them don't. As a painter, I'm thinking a lot about how I like to work. What's my best work self? And for me, I like to paint every single day, pretty much. And part of that is because I'm not trying to make a perfect painting. I'm trying to make paintings. And so sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're really bad. And that's okay, there's no pressure because every day I'm going in and I'm painting a little bit and eventually something will come out of it. There are other artists where they don't work on their practice every day. They need to be out in the world, living or meeting other people and having these experiences that they then bring back to their practice and then make a body of work out of that. For other people, they really need audience members to collaborate with to make their work. So it's really important to experiment and try to understand what is your best work self. And you have so much time. This body of work began in 2014, so that is 7 years ago. And, that was after years and years of making other bodies of work. So, things change. This is where experimentation is really important. And really just being excited about making the work that you're making. If something doesn't feel right, it probably means you need to try something else for a little bit and see what comes of it. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your art month. And thank you so much for listening and visiting.
So we're coming towards the end of our celebration. Thank you, Daisy, for sharing that with us. Very interesting and a different style than the other artists, but very, very interesting. And I also want to thank Melissa Mastrolia for all of her help and for her kind words, exciting words. I also need to thank the entire MAEA board for supporting Youth Art Month. I feel I want to acknowledge the committee members. Some you've met on the screen just a little bit ago, but I'm going to name everybody. On our committee this year was Amanda Bastian, Elizabeth Buck, Mary Beth Eldridge, Jacob Jinga, Amy Hussey, Brenna Johnson, Rebecca Kostich, Melissa Mastrolia, Connie Moore, Elizabeth Mullaney, Lucy Project, Leslie Quinlan, and Diana Adams Woodruff. And then, of course, Alina and myself. I want to thank you, the artists. I want to thank you, the art teachers. I know this was over and above in a year that there was a lot of over and above. And I also want to thank you, the parents and families and friends, for supporting quality art education in our schools. Reminder to you that the exhibit will be available online at least through June. And if you haven't done so already, I hope you will visit and I hope you will share the link. I think that's all I have. And I thank you for being here and celebrating Youth Art Month with us.
Thank you again, everyone, for coming tonight. And that concludes our award ceremony and webinar. Have a lovely evening.